Hey there, it's Bijal with another episode of Be Epic Daily. I'm super excited. I have a very special guest, Arjun Rai, the founder of HelloWoofy. Arjun, welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello from New York City on the Upper West Side. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. This is a lovely. By the way, I do love bees. They look awesome.
That's awesome. For those of you who are a little bit maybe caught up, we're going to discuss what Arjun's software does. A full disclosure, I am an investor in the platform. The first time I've ever invested in a tech startup in this shape or form, but I was super impressed by the platform. Before I let Arjun share his story, let me give you a little bit of background. What happened was one of my clients was outsourcing or sending instructions to her VA to do this platform called HelloWoofy. I kind of didn't take notice. I mean, a lot of my clients use different platforms, but this was kind of a daily, hey, can you use HelloWoofy for this? Can you use HelloWoofy for that? And this is intriguing. I still didn't take notice. Then in my mastermind group, one of my friends mentioned Arjun's name. Said, hey, anyone want to kind of get connected to Arjun Rai, the founder of HelloWoofy? I said, well, it's always good to have an inside track. So I reached out to Arjun and said, hey, one of my clients is using your software. Could I learn more about how this could be outsourced? Anyway, long story short, ended up not only using the platform, not only recommending the platform, but also investing in the platform. So that's my story. I'm going to stick to it. Arjun, welcome. And let's start real quickly. What is HelloWoofy? Why did you create it? What problems does it solve for entrepreneurs?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and thanks so much. Again, I mean, it's just I do believe in the law of attraction. You meet certain people for a reason. You have certain circumstances that come to you for a reason, and so long as your mindset is super important. We were just, I was telling you, I was in Clubhouse talking to Rob Moore and John Lee and many other moderators about mindset versus entrepreneur versus investors. So I think at the end of the day, every successful person agrees that mindset and your approach to life is super important for opportunities. Now, what is HelloWoofy? Well, speaking of mindset, our mindset is that we want to build the biggest company on the planet helping the smallest. For the price of a cup of coffee, you can use smart technology, you can be an underdog, automate your social media, automate your blogs and smart speakers. It's essentially it's the best solution that you could ever ask for as a small business owner, or as we call underdogs. And as soon as you start typing a post, it automatically comes up with a copy for you, comes up with the emojis for you, comes up with the hashtags for you, even stock footage that is royalty free. It just does a lot of the work for you that you don't have the ability to focus on, especially if you're an unsophisticated marketer, especially if you're running a coffee shop and then you're becoming a barista, an accountant, a social media manager, a legal consultant. You're doing all of the hats at the same time. We're on a mission to build smart marketing for underdogs, and that's what HelloWoofy is.
So let's go kind of peel back the few layers, because on the surface it seems real simple, right? But there's a lot of data analytics behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to bore people with the algorithms and all that the fancy stuff. But it is important to understand that below the surface, the interface, there's some real intelligence and logic at play. And on one of your demos, one of your videos, I kind of saw this mass of data being computed. So what's going on below the GUI level?
Yeah, I mean, we've taken a look at hundreds of millions of conversations to figure out exactly what is working, what isn't working, and make better recommendations to you. So, for example, when you're typing in how are, and you just type in HOW space A, and it automatically completes the sentence for you. How are you? ? If you type in I love and just do an I space L, it'll automatically complete the sentence for you, and then coffee or whatever you want to type in. The reason why I mentioned that is because it's predicting the next best word for you. So if you're looking at a blank screen and you're like, I have no idea what to type, I have no idea what to say, my followers need to hear from me, and by the way, I have to do this 10 times a day, 10 times a week. It'll do the work for you. At least start being your best friend, and hence the theme of the dog. Just like your furry little friend, your best friend, he's always there teaching you when, how, and what to post. Now, this is all for starting at $5 a month, so it's very, very affordable. And one of the things that we realized through research and other people's research as well, like Adobe, for example, the Adobe's emoji trend report, emojis drive significant uplift in engagement, and we're not talking 5%, 10%. 15% uplift in engagement. We're talking 50 to 70, even higher in some cases, uplift in engagement from when you don't use any emojis. Now, people might be saying, oh, what are you talking about? I use emojis all the time. Well, the average person uses the same 12 emojis over and over and over again, because that's in the recent category of emojis used. What most people don't realize is that Unicode has officially a set of emojis that nearly to the tune of 3,000 emojis. Which ones do well? Which ones are tend to be used to one another? That's what we're helping figure out for you, and at scale. No matter what word you type in, no matter what hashtag you type in, we will optimize the hashtag. We will optimize the emojis, the words for you. And so we started with social media scheduling, which is the lowest hanging fruit in December of 2019. We then realized, and we knew that small businesses needed a friend in their corner, their own furry little friend in their corner. I'm not saying Clippy, but their own furry little friend in their corner that could help you automate social media. And during the pandemic, we realized that the reason why 400,000 businesses were shutting down, small businesses, by the way, very unfortunate, is because they couldn't get away from their traditional mindset of driving traffic through the internet. And this might seem very, we're sophisticated marketers, or at least we know a thing or two about digital marketing, I hope. Many other small businesses couldn't figure out what a blog was, how to build a website, how to do anything on social. And so we built a product called Journal. Now, Journal does the exact same thing that I mentioned earlier, but for the purposes of a blog post. You can autocomplete entire blog post, optimize it, schedule it, just like a social post. None of our competitors do that. And then we realized that all of these devices that your followers may be seeing, these the Fire TVs, the Echo Show Dot, just give me the Echo Dot, or the Echo Show with a touchscreen built into it. Well, guess what? There are hundreds upon hundreds of millions of these devices sitting in everyone's bedrooms, bathrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, kitchens, but only. This is where the rub came in. Only the Netflixes, the YouTubes, the Hulus of the world were able to stream and distribute content, because it's very expensive to develop software for these devices. So then we said, okay, let's call up Amazon Alexa division and let's see if they can help us. So yes, 3 days ago, we literally launched the world's first smart speaker scheduler. So now for you and me, for $5 a month, $7 a month, depending on the pricing you buy, and the membership, you and I can stream content, schedule content to appear in our followers, our customers' living rooms for the price of a cup of coffee. And by the way, it'll be under your branding, not HelloWoofy's. It's your branding, your white label skill, or app, and that's kind of the approach we're taking. Is how can we give so much amazing technology at an affordable price point that's beautiful to use as well? It almost sounds like we're the Tesla Model 3 of digital marketing.
That's awesome. And guys, if you haven't, if you're brand new to HelloWoofy, you've never heard about it, go to HelloWoofy.com, look at some of the videos. It truly is an incredible platform. But more importantly, I believe it's got huge potential in terms of what the team's doing. So I think Arjun, I'm right in saying you're just scratching the surface of really what's possible with the tool itself right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We've only been around publicly for 16, 15 months or so. And I was just mentioning this on Clubhouse to John Lee's room, is you really have to now, as a founder, think about building your business completely differently, radically. One of the things that we did last year, which was, we were very fortunate to do, is use equity crowdfunding to bring our customers as a part of our business model, to bring them into our cap table. And what I mean by that is, if no one knows what I'm talking about, it's Google equity crowdfunding. It allows you as an unaccredited investor or accredited investor to invest in any startup through a platform like Republic or WeFunder. You can see the link below, circling around, which is the current campaign that we're running. You can invest as low as $100 into a company like HelloWoofy. You can buy the software that HelloWoofy is offering for $50 or $70 or $100. But become an affiliate, get 10% on all the referrals you do, and potentially make all of the investment back, at least for the first year or two. I mean, even if it's a small amount, if you do that, and if you can do that, that's great for you, because then you still have the upside on the business. If we scale further, which we will obviously, then, that's the mindset that we're in, or if we IPO down the road, or if we go public down the road, or if we get acquired down the road, right? That's obviously subject to, subject to change. If we do that, then I want to make sure that when I'm thanking our believers or early adopters from the get-go, I want all of our 2,500 investors to be there at the podium, virtually or in person. And I want to thank each and every one of them for being a customer, an investor, and a believer all at the same time. Traditionally, founders weren't able to do that, but now you can, using WeFunder, Republic, Start Engine, platforms like this.
Yeah, and that, again, second disclosure, one of the reasons I so wanted to reach out to you and connect with you is because, I'm looking down the road at different ways to raise capital for my business. And I saw what you're doing and the way that you're getting your kind of user base to become a core part of your kind of, getting the company to where it needs to be. So what made you choose this path of raising capital versus, say, other options?
Yeah, so I grew up in Silicon Alley, as New York City is called. Meeting investors, angel groups, and I have my own opinion on those different ways of raising capital and how fast they move, or if they don't move fast at all. And those are great for traditional raises, but equity crowdfunding, the platforms like Republic that we used twice and WeFunder, which our campaign's ending in about 12 days or so, give or take, they are really making it competitive. In fact, they're involving angel investors now as well as unaccredited investors, because it's just easier. It's just more automated. It just feels more transparent when you can see the founder, you can see the updates, you can get the terms and the terms of the deal all on a website. It just makes it a lot easier. Our story is that in August we auditioned for a TV show called Meet the Drapers. Initially, we actually got rejected by the TV show. They had a whole bunch of other founders that went on to getting into the show, but then within a couple of days, unfortunately, my mom passed away, and miracles started happening after that. The show emailed me saying, "Hey, we actually have a couple of more extra slots. We're expanding the show. Would you be interested in coming out to California and filming it?" And of course, I said yes. And the Meet the Drapers show, we ended up winning the Meet the Drapers show, and that was a blessing, a miracle in and of itself. But the other thing is, we launched an equity crowdfunding campaign with the help of the show, because Meet the Drapers is partnered with Republic, and so one promotes the other, and it's a symbiotic relationship. And so we did a second round, because during the pandemic, the show was actually paused for the finals. And so we ended the first campaign, then we started a second campaign, and we were able to raise another 180, or about a little under $200,000 while we were in the finals itself. And we ended that campaign towards the end of last year, and then we started a new campaign, to let other people invest who didn't have the opportunity to invest earlier. And today we raised about $172,000 in just a couple of months, actually. So that's kind of where we're coming from. And like I said, our campaign's ending in about 12 days.
So give us a little bit, so if you're talking to me like an investor, and really, we're investing in the future growth of the company.
Sure.
What, of course, obviously, don't give away everything, but what's coming down the road that makes this an exciting, investable opportunity?
If you take a look, and obviously this isn't financial advice, so please do your own due diligence and do your own comp research and things like that. But if you take a look at one of our biggest competitors, so first of all, we partner with a big competitor called Hootsuite. We are co-partners with them. Their customers are able to use our platform. Our platform can be used by their on top of their platform, right? So that's one of the reasons why we have, it says it works with Hootsuite on the logo, is because we really do work on top of Hootsuite. But another competitor that is publicly traded called Sprout Social, if you take a look at their stock, it grew really fast. If they were trading about $12 to $15 last year, they were set to grow 400% over the next few years, according to one news article. And they added nearly $2 billion worth of market cap. And get this, they only do social media scheduling, but they start at $100 for the small business owner. Now, many of our businesses are micro businesses, the mompreneurs, the stay-at-home moms, the stay-at-home dads who are running side hustles, the podcasters, the coaches, the coffee shops, the people who've just been furloughed and are launching their consultancies because they are taking their corporate experience and turning it into a consultancy. They can't afford more than $10, $20 a month, especially if there is no artificial intelligence or any ease of use beyond social media on a platform. So if you take a look at that comp as an example, we do blog scheduling on top of it, which is a huge market for content marketing and automatically creating content and distributing it. That's a pretty big category that we believe is going to grow this year, even more so than last year. But the third category that I mentioned is smart speaker scheduling. The ability to distribute content almost like a CNN or a CNBC, but Bijal doing it for under his brand, or Arjun doing it under his brand, or Sally, the coffee shop owner, doing it under her brand. It's going to be such an interesting ecosystem later this year and early next year as well, where all of these creators, and you see the creator fund at Clubhouse, you see TikTok doing a creator house as well, and the offerings there. The only issue is they're all focused on social media, traditional social media. how do I get that coffee shop and small business owner into my living room where they're now able to compete with Netflix and Hulu and YouTube? How do I get them into my speaker as I'm getting recipes and the daily briefings? That's the opportunity that is worth several billions of dollars, in my opinion. Of course, do your own diligence, but I think that is going to be a huge offering that we just started. We're just started, and people are so excited about this.
Well, I've got Tangled that I'm looking forward to track your journey. I have a vested interest, of course. But let's just
Sure.
switch gear for a second. Every entrepreneur has an epic story, right? So how did this all come about? Obviously, you went through school and everything else, but what's your epic story, and how did you get to be the founder of HelloWoofy?
Yeah, epic story for sure, and there might be a movie on this story one day. And actually, my story is on the wall here on the right side, and from 2017 all the way to 2020, and I actually have to add our 2021 success there, success or levels of success there too. Long story short, I had to turn the company around about 2.5 years ago. We were down to $10,000 in the bank, give or take. We had to let go of my co-founder, my friend at the time. We had to let go of our CTO, who was an introduction from someone someone we trusted, in the company. And unfortunately, we had 10,000 left in the bank. We learned a lot about how not to do things. And one of our investors calls me a cockroach because you can't get rid of me. And so I told all of our investors that I'm going to do whatever it takes to turn this company around. I put in, several credit cards, I think 11 or 10 credit cards, put in 50,000 in cash, got a second job, worked on the company early mornings and late evenings. And within a year, after $170,000 in, like I mentioned, the show called us up, AppSumo called us up in August of 2019 and said, "Hey, we'd love to help you launch later this year. What would work for you?" And like I mentioned, my mom passed away. We were about to launch in the next couple of weeks, and we did. And to date, in the last 15 months, we've done over $240,000 in revenue. We used to do 9 to 10,000 last year in revenue, give or take, and now we're doing 16 to 17,000, and we're projecting next month to do $22 to $26,000 a month in revenue. It's been a miracle getting here, but I'm so grateful for having the right kinds of advisors, investors, including our equity crowdfunding investors, our team, team members as well. Some of them I've been with, for over 2 years. That's what I talk about. Mindset is super important. If you have the right mindset, opportunities, the universe just brings more amazing opportunities to you.
I always look at our businesses really as canvases for our own personal growth. It's
yes, that's beautiful.
There's no, I don't think I've met somebody who hasn't got a story in their success, and even in their failures. Sometimes it's the failures that teach us the most about life, and the successes that teach us most about humanity and humility as well. So, Arjun, I thank you so much for taking some time out to share a little bit of your background, what the app is doing. Friends, look, I don't do this very often. I don't really plug investment opportunities, and so all I can say is I looked at the platform, I looked at what the potential of it. I saw how my clients were outsourcing it to their VAs, and that's based on that information. I made a small investment decision, more really to support this type of business. We're entrepreneurs. If you're watching this and you're an entrepreneur, our ability to support each other, when we believe it's a good idea, we have a good feel about the founder and what they've gone through to get their company to the stage.
HelloWoofy.
and that's really what we're encouraging, more supporting each other as we build and grow businesses. Arjun, give you last words. Anything you want to say to the people watching?
First of all, to you, virtual hugs. I love giving virtual hugs, and obviously we can't do it in real life at the moment, but it's people like you who believe in us, in the long term, and where we're going and how we're helping underdogs that really makes it super exciting. I know you're helping us with, different ways of scaling our sales, scaling our revenue and things like that. It's just kudos to you for even taking the time out and listening to an entrepreneur like me. I'm 29 and there's so much more I can learn. And so I'm grateful for people like you. And then also the viewers, or listeners who are chiming in. If you
just made me feel really old just off the record.
There's something about, they say the pepper look or something, you have the pepper look. It's helpful. It's helpful. I have the pepper look too. I've got grays on the sides now.
All I can say is I started making more money when I went grays.
There we go. So see, the grays are starting. But for the people who are listening in, if you want to support a small business like ours who are helping other small businesses for the price of a cup of coffee, we have our campaign running for another 12 days. Do your own due diligence. This isn't financial advice, but visit the link on the bottom, wefunder.com/HelloWoofy, and invest as low as $100. Obviously, some people have put in a lot more, or a few $100s more, but you can invest as low as 100. And but more importantly, email me, tell me your small business story, so that we can build a platform for people just like you, so that 400,000 small businesses don't have to shut down this year as they did last year. They could have been saved if they knew about digital marketing.
Arjun, thank you so much. I look forward to having that coffee with you in New York.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon in another episode of Be Epic Daily.